Welcome to the class of Financial Markets and Services. The code for the same paper is KMB FM03. Dear students, you people have known about the financial institutions. What is the financial institution? Institution basically who work for the receiving and giving the loans, who receive the deposits and gives the loan. So, basically when we talk about the banks, in today's lecture we will talk about the commercial banks, about its functions, about the structure and its type. So, it is very necessary to understand the financial institutions. Financial institutions are those institutions which actually work for the financial assistance for the savers, for the investors and for the different parties, whether it is organization or it is government. So, proceeding further, today we will discuss about the commercial banks. Commercial banks actually being defined by the Banking and Financial Institution Act, which is proposed in 1989. In short, we always say it BAFIA, means Banking and Financial Institutions Act. The bank is being defined as a person who carries the banking business. What is the banking business? There are a business which is being provided the fund to the different investors, to the different parties, to the different savers, and there are number of parties, means saver, investors and other parties are like the government is also needing fund, and there are some firms who are having requirement for the financial assistance, or any organization who is looking for some kind of financial assistance in the form of loans, maybe short term or maybe long term. So, actually this bank is what they are doing, they are doing the banking services and they are providing the banking business. Banking business means they are accepting the money from the people who having sufficient fund, or maybe the people who want to invest their money into the market, or the people who want to save their money for the safety purpose, for securing their money, for to getting the interest. So, the bank is an institution which collect money from those who have spare money with them, and they don't want to keep that money in their hand, they want to keep this money to the bank, with the bank to earn the interest, because when you deposit your money with the bank, then only you can get the some amount of interest on it. The income and the lend the money out to those who require it. They are taking in the money from the people who having sufficient fund, and they are giving this money to the people who actually having the lack of the money, or who people are in the need of the money. All these institutions which are in the business of banking are called the financial institution. This, I said the same thing, that financial institutions actually work for the welfare of the savers, investors and other parties. Moving further, there are some theoretical theoretical framework for this banking operation. First is the balancing between profitability and the liquidity. There is two terms now. One is the profitability and the another one is the liquidity. What it means, it will be more clear by this graph. See, when we talking about the profitability, the terms itself define that profitability means when you are earning something. The cash, the money which you having, you have invested this money into the market and the money is giving you return, that is known as the profitability. But when we are talking about the liquidity, liquidity means having the cash in your hand. Means what? That whenever you require money, you having money in your hand and you can easily pay out your daily expenses. But it is not always good to keep the more liquidity or have the less profitability, and vice versa. So, it is always necessary to maintain a balance between these two, between the profitability as well as in the liquidity. Suppose this is your liquidity and this is your profitability. When you are in the form, when you want to have maximum of this liquidity, when your liquidity is more than your profitability is here and your liquidity is here, means you have more and more money in your hand and you have invested very less amount into the market. it means that balance is not good, because keeping money with you idly, that is not good for the company, because the money which is being idle with the organization, that should be invested somewhere on which they can earn the return. So, when we are decreasing this liquidity and when we want to invest more into the market, this is the point where your liquidity and your profitability mean, that is known as the equilibrium point, means you are keeping sufficient fund with you and you are keeping the sufficient profitability with you. It is very good for the organization, because it is always necessary to have a optimization level. So, when we are talking about earning more and more profit or keeping more and more cash with you, that is always suggestion that there should be a balance between liquidity as well as in the profitability. Company invest their money in such a way so that they can meet their daily requirement also. Some investment is being done for the short term period, and some is being done for the long term period, and by this way you can have the sufficient fund and you can have the sufficient profitability also. Second is talking about the management of reserves. It is always mandatory for every organization, for every bank, to keep some reserve to meet the contingencies or maybe some situation where you need the fund. So, banking is having this maintaining the reserves also. Creation of credit, how the company is being creating the credit, they are actually taking the money from the savers and they are giving this money for the loans. By providing more and more loans to the people, they are actually getting the interest on that, on the basis of the EMI being decided by the bank. So, by this money they are creating the they are creating the credit also. Process of money creation, how the money being created, the ratio of new deposit, means the money which is being invested, which is being deposited into the company is to the original increase in the reserve, is called the money multiplier. The ratio means the thing, the new deposit, the ratio should be like, is called the original increase in reserve, is called the money multiplier, or we can also call it credit multiplier, or we can also call it deposit multiplier. This multiplier will be equals to the 1 by CRR, means cash reserve ratio. It should be equal to the reciprocal of the required cash reserve ratio. This is the structure for the commercial bank, or you can say the cooperative bank, or you can say that banking system. This is the actually structure for the banking organization. The main authority, that is RBI, Reserve Bank of India, provide the guidelines to different banks to protect the savers' interest as well as to save their money also by the fraud and different things. So, they have divided this for making it easy, they have divided this system into this scheduled bank and non-scheduled bank. The scheduled bank is again further divided like commercial banks and the cooperative banks. Commercial bank have been, for the more simplified thing, they is the private, public, foreign banks and regional rural banks. So, when we talking about the public bank, there are some more division is there, that is SBI and associate banks, nationalized banks, other public sector banks. Public sector means the banks which is government banks. And if we talking about the cooperative banks, there are further division like state cooperative banks, district cooperative banks and the other cooperative banks. Now, going to the detail one by one, that the scheduled and non-scheduled bank. What is the scheduled bank? What is the definition of the scheduled bank? It is very simple that scheduled banks are those banks which are listed in the second schedule of RBI Act 1934. And the condition is also applicable here, that the bank got license only when the paid up capital is minimum 50 lakh and must be satisfied the CRAR's norms prescribed by the Reserve Bank of India. When these two conditions are filled, that time the banks become scheduled bank. Now, we are talking about the non-scheduled bank. Simply the conditions are not being fulfilled by the different banks that comes under this head, that non-scheduled bank, mainly local banks, and these banks are not under any obligation of fulfilling CRAR norms or keeping any kind of reserves. When they are not fulfilling any kind of condition or any kind of obligation is not being there, that time the bank is called the non-scheduled bank. Some example of this is NSB, Jammu and Kashmir banks, coastal banks, local banks, and banks Vijayawada. These are the some example for the non-scheduled banks. Moving further, there are further division in the scheduled bank. They are further divided like public bank, private bank, foreign banks, and regional rural banks. So one by we will discuss about each banks. Public bank, you all know that public means the government banks which are giving following the guidelines of the government, and where the share of the government is higher than the other authorities. So this is also known as the nationalized bank, and they make the major hold by the government. These banks was under the guidelines of RBI. RBI is the regulatory authority which actually regulate the banking sector, which provide the guidelines for the banking sector to save the welfare, to save the interest of the savers and other parties. After the recent amalgamation has been done few months ago, and in this amalgamation smaller banks was merged into the larger bank, and now we having 12 public banks in India as of now. The name of these banks are SBI, PNB, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, Bank of Maharashtra, UBI means United Bank of India, Union Bank of India, Canara Bank, Central Bank of India, Indian Banks, Indian Overseas Bank, PNB, and UCO banks. These are the list for the 12 banks which are being known as the 12 this public bank. Now moving further, coming to the private sector of the banks. Private sector itself said that there is a more and more share of the private authorities or other organization who are dealing into the banking kind of work. These banks also work similarly as the nationalized bank. The work is also same as the national bank is doing. Similarly, the private bank is also doing the same task, but the difference is only the majority stake is being taken by the private owners. The government interference is very less here. These banks majorly work on the lines of profit making by keeping deposit, providing loans, and other productive related financial activities. Now need to define this thing that when we are talking about the major work, every bank having the major task to receive the money, to take the deposit, and to give the loans to the different people who in the need of money. So the bank is also doing the same thing, but the thing is this, that they are in the profit making line. They are supposed to make the profit, and that's why they follow their some kind of guidelines they are making themselves by charging the interest, by making the interest higher. So private banks, the name of the private bank you people knowing that HDFC, ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, IndusLand Bank, Yes Bank, SDFC, IDFC, and many more. Now we will discuss about the third bank, regional rural bank. The name itself suggests that that is based on the region. These banks also fall in the same category of the scheduled banks, and they work for the small scale industries. The main objective for behind this is the formation of these banks is to support the credit, to support this, provide the facility of giving the credit to the weaker section of the economy. Weaker section can be farmers, can be laborers, can be the wage earners, or small traders who are working into the same economy and having the less money. So this focus of this the bank is to work for the economically weak section. They follow the same guidelines which is being provided by the RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India, and the most of these banks are regional, as the name suggests, means these banks operate in the particular regions and might have the different branches in the metropolitan cities as well. These banks works for the specific line and serve major functions like providing the financial credit for support and rural areas and semi-urban areas also. They are giving, the main focus is always being to provide the financial assistance to the small scale industry, to semi-rulers. This provide the support to the government schemes processing payment for the national pension schemes, NPS and the Manrega beneficiaries, because Manrega is being provided for the weaker sections. So, this is mainly focusing on these kind of schemes which is being done by the being provided by the government. These banks are considered no less as compared to the nationalized bank, as they have also providing the card, means the ATM card and the locker facilities also. They are working on the same guidelines which is being given by the RBI for the national banks also. Now, moving further, that the foreign banks, the name itself saying that the foreign banks there is some involvement of foreign countries also here. This commercial banks refers to the banks which having the headquarter in the foreign countries, and they operate their different branches into the different countries, maybe in India, maybe in other countries, having the different foreign banks who having the headquarter in their own parent country. The bank may have many branches and offices. They are under the obligation to operate under the regulation provided by the central bank of the country. Central bank means central bank of the country means in our country it is RBI, Reserve Bank of India. In other countries they are following the same guidelines which is being provided by the central bank, as well as the rules prescribed by the parent organization located outside the India. Means these banks are supposed to follow two types of guidelines. One is being provided by the central bank of that country where they are operating, or another one is their parent country's guidelines, which are from where they are belonging. Next, coming to the name of some foreign banks is HSBC Bank, Citi Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, JP Morgan banks. These are the banks which are working here and they are creating the job opportunities also, and basically they are the foreign banks, and the head office as is being placed in the different countries. Now, we are coming to the special role which is bank are supposed to perform. First one is the capital formation. What is the capital formation? That how they are creating the money, how they are creating capital for the organization, for the banks. The second one is creation of credit. Creation of credit means how they are creating credit, means how they are providing the loans, from where they are getting the money. They are receiving money from the different savers and they are giving the same money to the different people who need loan. Encouraging right types of industry, they are motivating the industries which are working into the country, and they are motivating them by providing them financial assistance, because may be possible that some companies are not able to work due to the financial lack, but when the bank is providing this facility to provide the loans, to provide the financial assistance, then the bank also get the benefit that they are getting more and more client, and they are motivating this kind of industries also. Bank monetize the debt also. They are the finance to the government. It is not necessary that the client is only the individual. It can be individual, it can be the organization, it can be the firm, or it can be the government, because most of the time government also need the money for the development of the society, for making any kind of project which is being utilized by the society. This for that purpose the bank, the country also, government also need money. That time they take the loans from the banks. Employment generation, obviously when there are number of branches are there, that time number of employees are also required. When number of employees are required, the employment generation is being also increasing. Employment generation is being done on the skill basis, means according to their qualification, according to the skill, the people are getting jobs in the bank also. Bank promote entrepreneurship also, because bank is also giving the loan for the startups, and it is these startups actually creating new they are also creating new things into the market, that if people are not getting right job, so you can actually provide the jobs to the other people. If you people having any idea, any great idea or any new idea, so you can be entrepreneur, and in that situation this banks is giving the startup loans also. Moving further, there are some services which is being provided by the bank. First one is accepting the deposit. That is very main two things is being done by the bank, which is everybody knowing that receiving the money for the saving account and giving the loans to the needy people. So the first one is they are accepting the deposit, and by accepting the deposit they are giving interest on that. Lending money or advancing of loan, they are giving, providing the money whosoever need this money, or they can apply for the loan whenever the people need this money. Investment of fund, banks is also providing the portfolio benefits. You can invest your money, you can choose the portfolio in which you want to invest your money into the different sectors. Banks is also giving this kind of facilities. Remittance of the fund, dealing in the foreign exchange, overdraft facility, discounting of bill of exchange, and the credit card. All these things like credit card, by when you do not have money, you purchase a credit card, buy the credit card, you can do the shopping, you can make the payments, and afterward you can pay it back on a particular interest. Discounting of bill of exchange means the bill of exchange is what? It is a negotiable instrument, it is a transferable instrument. When people actually writing this on that, they are promising to give this money to the particular person, to the bearer, and actually the bank is discounting these kind of bills also. Overdraft facilities also, overdraft when you are looking for any kind of loan, in the overdraft facility actually bank is charging only the amount which is being withdrawn from the overdraft. Means it is not similar to the other loans. On the other loans the interest is charged on the full amount, but when you take the overdraft facility, it is only charged, the interest is only charged on the daily basis only on the withdrawal money. The money which is being left in your account cannot be charged the interest. Automatic teller machine, everybody know this thing, that everybody in this scenario using the ATM card, and this ATM card, by this we do not need to visit the bank whenever we feel like to withdraw the money. We simply going to the ATM machine and withdrawing the cash. Debit cards, online banking, private banks. Online banking means what? When actually bank is giving you all the facility by sitting at your home. You can sit at your home, you have your login ID and password, and simply you are adding different accounts in your online network, and by this mode you can actually transfer your money without going anywhere, without any hassle, and it is secure also because it is secured by the OTP, one time password. Private banking, mobile banking, and public provident funds account. These are the some facilities or say some services which is being given by the banks. Now coming to the second portion of the cooperative bank. One was the commercial bank and other one is the cooperative bank. Cooperative, the name itself saying the cooperation kind of thing is there, means the bank which is not working only for the profit making, they are working for the cooperation or to the support to the different organization, to the different members, to the different institutions. The own and operate by the members of common purpose, which is being which is to provide the financial services to the agriculture and a small scale industry. There are some difference between the commercial bank and the cooperative bank, as it seems like they are similar, but they are not similar because the objective is not same. Commercial bank is having an objective to being commercialize everything, and they are into the industry for the commercial purpose. Commercial purpose means they are into the market for profit making, but cooperative banks are not in this situation. See, the banks, if we talk about the commercial bank, these banks actually having providing service to the individual, to the business, which is known as the commercial bank, and having the commercial purpose. But when we are talking about the cooperative bank, it is being set up to provide the finance to the agriculture people, rural industries, trade and industries who are belongs to the urban area, some part of the urban area, but limited extent. Government Act, which Government Act is being which is regulating it. When we are talking about the commercial bank, the Banking Regulation Act 1949, and when we are talking about the cooperative bank, it is following the under the Cooperative Societies 1965. Motive of this bank is when we are talking about the commercial bank, main motive of the profit making only. They are saving, accepting the savings, they are providing the loans only because of the commercial purpose, only for the profit making thing. But when we are talking about the cooperative bank, they are actually providing a service, they are not making the profit, they are providing services. Borrowers, who are the borrowers of commercial bank, the account holders are the borrowers of commercial bank. In this, member shareholders are the actually borrowers of the cooperative banks. Main function of the commercial bank is accepting deposits from public and granting loans to the individual and businesses. They take the money, they actually collect the different deposits from the public, from the individual, and they provide the loans. The same amount they provide in the form of loan to the different people. And on this providing, when they are providing the loan, they are charging the interest and they are making money out of that money. Accepting deposit, in case of when we talk about the cooperative bank, they are also doing the same thing. They are accepting the deposit from the members. Mentioning members again, because here is no individual, no company, no organization, we are talking about the members of cooperative societies. And the public, and the granting loans to the farmers and small business people whosoever required the money and do not having the sufficient fund, and also they are economically weak, they are providing this money to them only. The interest rate which is being given to the on the deposit is very less in the case of commercial bank, but when we are talking about the cooperative bank, the interest rate is quite high. So we can say that in comparison of commercial bank and the cooperative bank, that these are the banks which actually commercial banks are more and more working for the benefits of the organization and they are making the profits. But when we are talking about the cooperative banks, they are what they are doing, they are only doing work for the welfare of the society. They are actually providing this loan to the members of the this cooperative societies, and they are charging very low. So at the end, when I need to summarize this thing, then today we talked about the commercial bank. What is commercial bank? We talked about the different structure of commercial bank, or we talked about that RBI has divided this banking system into the scheduled and non-scheduled bank. Scheduled bank is further divided like commercial bank and the cooperative bank, and there is further division like public banks, private banks, foreign banks, regional rural banks, and cooperative banks are also there, which are working for the welfare of the society. So at the end, I want to say that there are some books which is will be good for when you go for the further study. The book is being given by the L.M. Bhole and Mukund J. And this is the book for financial institutions and market structure, where you can find all the details regarding the commercial banks, regarding the structure of that, regarding the CRRs, SLRs and repo rate, reserve repo rates and different rates which is bank is charging, and you can get the detail of all the details which is being which I have taught you in this lecture. Hope the lecture was knowledgeable for you. If you people having any query, you can go for this book and you can visit on this books that these are the different facilities which our bank is providing, and which is being this facilities actually when you are studying the commercial bank, there are n number of facilities is being provided. So at the end, I want to say thank you for listening me patiently.